18 and 12, and it says, at the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and clouds of
Jesus
fire.
was homeless and his girlfriend was a
Yahweh also
prostitute.
thundered in the
Jesus was
heavens,
homeless and his
and the
girlfriend was
highest
a
gave his
prostitute,
voice.
by the way.
Hailstones
His
and clouds
girlfriend
of
was a
fire.
prostitute and he was homeless.
Yeah, he
And he
sent
was
out his
cast
arrows
asunder.
and scattered
Don't tell
them.
me you know about this shit because he was cast asunder.
That's talking about lasers, man.
He was
The lasers that come from the chariots.
He was removed and cast asunder.
Move him out of the way, move him out.
No, don't actually tell me.
It's going back too close.
Let's go, man.
No, don't tell me. If you're righteous in your past, then you are welcome. You are welcome question. You are welcome contradiction. If you are true in your past.
So it's talking about the lasers also. The lightnings, the arrows, and it's this comfort of other nations there.
I believe fully that Jesus lived. I believe fully that Jesus lived. He was a charismatic leader. But guess what? Hitler was a fucking charismatic leader as well. Hitler was the same charismatic leader that Jesus was. I'm glad that you can go home, right? And I hope that you leave your fucking weed alone. Because masturbation is a sign of the devil. Fucking
He sent from above, he drew me out of many waters.
He drew me out of many waters. Talking about David delivered, man.
They don't want to have open discussion.
David got beamed up into a chariot, man.
He's talking to Jesus directly.
They said he drew me out of many waters, meaning the
He's got a
waters
fucking
represent
lifeline. Oh, I fucked your dad.
the waters.
Yeah, well, still has it. She's dead. She's dead, so that makes you a necrophiliac.
The waters is talking about David's enemies, man. Okay?
The Philistines.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
He says, he delivered me from my strong enemy and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me.
Alright, so David had enemies that were too strong for him at the time, man. Alright? And Yahweh showed mercy unto one of his chosen and said, "Boy, I'm gonna send up a chariot and deliver him." Alright? From the midst of all his enemy. And that's one of the things that happened to David, man. He got beamed up into a chariot. Alright?
Yeah.
Wait. You can go back to Habakkuk, because that's a good one too. I was gonna do a video on that. Alright, go ahead.
It's back to Habakkuk 3.
Your wrist to resist the devil, and he shall flee. If you standing there, convoke, they'll still be here, man. Good.
Habakkuk 3.
That's the job of them demons. So don't mean the cop. The demon want to bring you out of the scriptures. The devils, they want to, the bird that come and take out that which is sown. That's what them demons want. They don't want you to stay in the scriptures. They want you to talk to them. They want you to talk to the spirits.
Right.
Don't talk to the spirits, man, because they'll bring you into their world.
Right.
And fuck you up. Get you arrested and they escalate and everything there. Police and get you arrested and everything. Stay in the scriptures and resist the devil when they ain't gonna go. But
It's back to Habakkuk 3 and 6, and it says, he stood and measured the earth. He beheld and dropped asunder the nations.
right.
And the everlasting mountains were scattered.
The everlasting mountains talking about these other nations, their government, their militaries, man. You really think they're gonna stand a chance against Yahweh Shai and them chariots? They can appear and then disappear.
Change ships.
They can appear on the radar,
Right. Yep.
but you don't see them.
Yep.
That's true.
You look, or you might see them, but they're not on the radar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They can go underwater, out. They can go diagonal when it's change, go 12 round, shine different lights. They can change shape. Understand? What could Esau do to that with his little technology there? With his little, RFID, little bullets and what can he do?
Yeah, virus.
You know what I'm saying? Esau, you think you take pride in your military.
Yeah.
Let's see if your military stand up against the military of our God, man. Alright? Let's see you boast about your nuclear missile then. Alright? Go ahead.
And every single year, the Lord allows them to perfect their military, man. They get better and better and better at it, but still not enough.
That's good. That's good.
Every month they have something new, man. They get better and stronger and stronger and stronger, military-wise anyway.
Right.
But it's still not gonna be enough.
Yeah, because these other nations, man, that's why I said, why did the heathens rage, man? And they imagine a vain thing. It's a vain thing for the Chinese them to think that they're gonna own shit. The Japanese thinking that they're gonna rule shit. The Russians trying to, barter with the Chinese, man. The Korean them. that they're up next. They probably have plans to kill us, They probably have plans to kill us, man. Because if you see that they make them lose these other nations, but you see nigga, you see them bobbing his head to music, dyeing his hair, trying to look like Future. Doing nothing. So imagine if the other nations did take over, right? What do you think will happen to us, man? Because these other nations, they're not as liberal as the white man. They're not as liberal as the white man. You see what's happening with the Arabs in North Africa? They'll put you down and enslave you, man. These other nations, these Eastern world, these Eastern Oriental nations, they'll enslave us, They'll enslave us again, man. They're not as liberal as Esau, the Western world. Go ahead, bro.
That's why sometimes it's better to work for Esau than to work for these different nations. Yeah. Because these different nations, when they put their own people down, payday comes when you pay your half his money and say, because you didn't do your job properly the other day.
The Arabs, they'll tie you, they'll rape your women. Imagine if the Arabs took over. They'd already shown you in Libya. They'll put you down, man. I don't care if you're a Muslim. They're not trying to make them convert you. They're trying to use your women and use you as a slave, man. Alright? That's why we need to be saved, man. We need to put our hope in them chariots, man. See them chariots, the majestical things? The wheel within a wheel? Because our ancestors saw them in ancient times. The them chariots are ancient, man. Those are not some modern day things. Those are some ancient antiquity things that our ancestors saw. That's how we got led out of Egypt. Remember a fire by night and then a pillar of cloud by day? What do you think that was? That was a chariot, man. Understand? That's how we got led out of Egypt, out of captivity. So that's the same means how we're going to get delivered again, by the chariots. Right.
But to Habakkuk 3 and 4 and 7 and it says, I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction.
I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction. Meaning who? Them Ethiopian. Yahweh Shai is going to take a holiday trip down Ethiopia. I'm going to visit the Ethiopian them. They said he saw the tents of Cush in affliction. So Yahweh Shai is coming to visit them. But it tells you how Yahweh Shai is going to go to Cush. You know, it says you appear the second time to gather the remnant from Cush, Elam. So Yahweh Shai is going down to East Africa. The angel is there to deliver and to destroy. Right?
And it says, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble.
And the curtain, and the what?
And the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble.
What's that? The Middle East and them different Arabic tribe, man. The curtain of Midian, it trembled. Because Yahweh Shai is going to take a visit down to the Middle East. Alright? Going to visit the Arabic people there. Yeah? To what? To save and to destroy, man. Them lasers, man. Them lightnings that come forth from the clouds, man. Right? Burning coals of fire. And rebuke the heathen them for the controversy of Zion. The Lord's going to fight for us, you know. Our heroes coming to fight for us. Why? Because we don't have the power. The only power we have is our big mouths when we're out here in the highways and byways. We don't have no, that's why they all pass us like we're nobody. Because we're nothing but sheep right now. Yeah. But then a lion is coming out of his thicket. A destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Yeah. You know? That's right. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Continue on, it says, verse 8, was Yahweh displeased against the rivers?
So was Yahweh displeased against the rivers? I mean these other nations, go ahead.
It says, was thine anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea?
Was thy wrath against the sea? Go ahead.
That thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation.
So thou didst ride upon thy chariots of salvation. Go ahead.
And it says, thy bow was made thy bow was made quite naked according to the oaths of the tribes, even thy word, Selah. Thou didst cleave the earth with rivers.
Thou didst what?
So thou didst cleave
Thy bow was made quite naked according to the oaths of the tribes, even thy word that is cleave the earth with rivers. Go ahead.
It says, the mountains saw thee and they trembled.
The mountains saw thee and they trembled. The scriptures say every eye shall see him. So these different mountains, these different governmental, political world leaders, and these different nations and their militaries, they're going to see Yahweh shine. And the scriptures say they're going to tremble. This is prophecy. This is something that hasn't happened yet. Alright? That's why we're prophesying to the wind right now.
Right.
Alright? Through the spirit of Yahweh speaking out here in the highways and byways. You see me? Right? The scriptures say the mountains did tremble when they saw Yahweh shine. When they saw the chariots of Yahweh shine. Go ahead.
And it says, the mountains saw thee and they trembled. The overflowing of the water passed by. The deep uttered his voice and lifted up his hands on high.
Right, so let me see that. So they say, and the overflowing of the water passed by. The deep uttered his voice and lifted up his hands on high. Go ahead.
It says, the sun and the moon stood still in their habitation. At the light of thine arrows they went, and at the shining of thy glittering spear.
Right, the shining of thy glittering spear and thy arrows. Talking about what again? The lasers, man. The fire that issue forth from the clouds. Alright? Go ahead.
And it says, thou didst march through the land in indignation.
So the scriptures say that Yahweh and his angels march through the land in indignation. So when the chariots come through and invading the land, they're coming through an angle, man. Alright? Lasers shooting, boom, boom, boom.
I should have got off.
You know, all the people running and screaming, they can't do shit. What can they do? Phone 999. The different fighter jets, destroyed, man. When them chariots enter in. When the chariots enter in like an overflowing river, the mountains are gonna tremble, man. When the Yahweh shall come through that righteous angle. Go ahead.
And it says, verse 12 said, thou didst march through the land in indignation, thou didst thresh the heathen in anger.
Thou didst thresh the heathen with anger. So the Most High don't care about the heathen. I thought the Lord loved the heathen. For the Most High loved the heathen. Huh? I thought he loved the world. That Yahweh Shai died for them. So Yahweh Shai died for them, and now he's come to destroy them? Don't make any sense. The scripture says he's going to thresh the heathen in anger. Go ahead.
He says, verse 13, thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people.
So the scripture says Yahweh Shai coming forth for the salvation of his people. So like I said, he coming back to save and to destroy, man. Those are his two targets. That's his two objectives. Right. When Yahweh give his first begotten creation, the second one say, go, my son. Yahweh Shai gonna be like, and he's gonna go. And the angels is gonna say, let's go. And they're gonna come, they're gonna appear in the sky, man. And people are gonna be like, what the f? And they'll be filming it. You know? They're gonna be wondering at the strangeness of our salvation.
Yeah.
Alright? When they see people getting them lasers coming out, people getting beamed up and everything. Alright? Right, man. And the word salvation means what? Preservation and deliverance from destruction. Alright? That's why we're not going to be hurt on the second death.
Right.
See me? Those that endure and overcome to the end. Alright? The same, alright, will be overcome the second death. Right? Wait.
He says, verse 13, say, thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for salvation with thine anointed.
Even for the salvation of thine anointed. Wait.
Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked.
Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked. So he's coming to wound the heads of the wicked, man. These different Edomite nations, man. France, Germany, alright? America, England, yeah? Belgium, Russia. All these nations, they think they're going to come with a little military there. With their little technology and their little chemical destruction, weapons of mass destruction and that. Yahweh shall come through with a couple of lasers and destroy them brass, man. Right? Boom! Yeah. That's how Yahweh shall is coming.
That's a Preston guy, man. Little white thing. Yeah.
Little white man colour. Even if Peter went around with a little white colour.
Green shaving face,
green face is a straight out sinner. Willingly. You don't care about the laws, man. You don't care about the laws of the Lord, man. If he's doing that, he must probably be poor, man.
Yeah.
And then you bring out scriptures to justify himself. You shouldn't make anything unclean that the Lord made clean.
Yeah.
Acts chapter 10, you can't bring that out. You don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
Matthew, what goes into your mouth does not defile.
You probably bring out and eat.
Yes, I eat it.
I seen one guy who said that, because that time they don't have the technology to boil the pork to a certain degree or something like that, man.
Jacob has got a justification for his wickedness. But anyway, going back to the point, man. Yahweh Shai, man. A dark skin, dark, man. So dark, the alpha male, intimidating, man. Coming back with chariots. Right. The wheel within a wheel. With eyes around the wheel. And lasers, man, lightnings. Fiery flames issuing forth. Riding on a chariot for the salvation of his people. Of his anointed, right? With zeal and marching through the land in indignation with his man them, with his angels. Michael, Uriel, Raphael, right? They'll go come and they're going to invade earth, man, and take the kingdom. They're going to take it, man. We're not going to barter with the heathen. We're not going to sit there and have a little UN meeting, the powers of heaven and the powers of the earth come in with a little circle UN meeting, and Yahweh shall say, well, you did pierce me, so it's only right that I should, write no contract in blood, and Yahweh shall sign. No, that's not going to happen. Yahweh shall is coming back with a military formation and doppy the heathen. Where?
And it says, and even the salvation of the anointed, thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked,
right,
by discovering the foundation unto the neck.
By discovering the foundation unto the neck. Right.
He said, thou didst strike through with the staves the head of his villages. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. Their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly.
Right, let me read that again.
Verse 40 said, thou didst strike through with his staves the head of his villages. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. Their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly.
Right.
Thou didst walk through the sea with thine horses through the heap of great waters.
Right, so the Most High sent his son to march through the seas, right, with his horses. What are the seas? What are the waters? These other nations, man. And he's going to come through with his horses and his chariots, man, like a whirlwind. Alright? Destroy the villages and the cities and the towns. Alright? And kill all the people. And murder the 2/3, man. Kill them.
Right.
Just kill the 2/3, man. Murder them. deaf to the 2/3, man. Alright? They have to go. Because if they don't go, we're never gonna see the kingdom. They have to go first.
I know.
Right? They gotta die. Right? Yeah.
You gotta do that.
Right. Alright, so what we got? Is that it?
That was it.
See, that was it, man. But that's a chapter there. And most people can't even break that chapter down. That's talking about Yahweh Shai coming through and busting up the heathen, man.
Right, this is 2nd Ezra 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof.
So there goes a wind from the sea, all right? And it moved all the waves thereof. That wind is talking about Yahweh Shai. And it moved all the waves. The waves is talking about the nations then. We're not talking about the horses marching through the sea. That wind, that whirlwind, all right, it moved all the waves. Because all the waves, they're going to be trembling. The mountains are going to tremble at the presence of Yahweh Shai when he comes with his power and great glory. So imagine that an actual black man is coming with power. You mean to say he's coming back with great glory? Great glory. So people they're gonna learn to respect us, man.
Right.
They're gonna learn to bow down to the majesty of a so-called black man. That's right, man. Because you think these motherfucking heathens, you think they bow down? Would you bow down to a black man? But the other nations, they're gonna bow down, right, to the soles of our feet, man, and lick up the dust. The Most High is going to reverse the curses, man. Right? The Most High, when Yahweh Shai come back, let me tell you something, brothers, man. When Yahweh Shai come back, that's the moment when the curses are reversed, man. And the blessings come upon us, man. That's the moment when the curses come upon us, man. When the Most High turn his face to shine upon us again, man. Alright? But the reason why we're not saved right now, because the Most High's face is against us.
Right.
We have to pay for our sins. And even right now, we still haven't paid. Because certain brothers need to be martyrs. They need to be beheaded. Alright? So they can be made perfect. Alright? So they can be cleansed. Because right now we're still wicked. We still have to pay.
Right.
The same way Yahweh Shai, he had to go through his time of tribulation. We still have yet to go through ours. So we still have to pay. But when the moment Yahweh Shai come with the angels them, that's when the Most High face change and shine upon us again. And his grace come upon us again. And his mercy and his salvation and favor come upon us again, man. We will be saved from all our enemies, man.
Am I your enemy?
Yeah, you the enemy, man. You're the enemy of our nation.
Cool Rollins!
You Edomites. You are the Edomites, man. You have to tell them what the enemy is.
Yeah, y'all know.
You have to tell them what. Yeah. Right? Understand? From when we get saved from the hand of all them that hate us, that's when the Most High's grace come upon us. By grace are we saved? You understand? So brother was reading, go ahead.
And I behold, lo, that man waxed strong with his thousands of heaven.
Right, that man, meaning that wind, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. So he's coming back with the troops, man. The troops. The angelic troops. The extraterrestrial or extra celestial troops, man. Alright? That had given power, man, where?
And it said, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that was seen under him.
All things trembled that was seen under him. So that's talking about the people. That's talking about the militaries.
Right.
That's talking about man, woman, child. All things trembled. That's why I said the mountains trembled when they saw him. And every eye shall see him. And all the tribes of the earth are going to mourn because of him. Alright? Go ahead.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
So when they hear that sound from the chariot, fire, Understand? Gonna burn the people, gonna burn the buildings, gonna burn the skyscrapers, burn the statues. But look, Esau has to build them statues to glorify himself. Yahushua gonna come with them lasers, pew. You know, Empire State Building, pew. The little Caesar boys here down there in Rio de Janeiro, pew.
Salakia, can I just say, in regard to what you just said, on one of the documentaries I was watching, one of the Chariots in the Close Encounters documentary, Chariot came down low and the soldier was giving his description and what was going through his mind at the time. He said, Dick Pope, the UFO UK defense, you know the one. Dick Pope, yeah. And he was saying, so he was breaking his story down and he said that when he felt that he saw the chariot come, the UFOs they called them, come down, he said he felt a humming noise. He said the humming, he said it felt so powerful. He said he felt go right through his body, humming, just the humming alone.
You can imagine like this. You know, there's a feeling of dread that goes through your body.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna be with people, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the people, they don't wanna consider something that's outside of their control.
Right.
Because people like to walk around thinking they got everything under control. They don't want to consider that something's gonna come that's beyond them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's inevitable.
And it says, and all they burned that heard his voice, and as the earth faileth, went it, feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
That's when all the little clowns from the north, east, south side of the earth, they come together to unite to fight against Yahushua. The little heathen, the corruptible humans try to come inside their little technology and try to fight against Yahushua. Go ahead.
And I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a mountain and flew upon it.
So how they gonna fight against a mountain? A big mountain that come out, you don't know where it comes from. You can't see the end of it, you don't see the beginning of it. That's how big the chariot is. It's covered up, that's why I said the sun and the moon don't give our light. They're gonna blow out the sun. And the sky is gonna blow out the sky. That's what's going to the day of the Lord shall be a day of darkness and not light, man. That's how dark, that's why everyone's gonna look up at the sky like. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you're gonna see and hear is this great thing in the sky. Go ahead.
But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, but I could not.
So he tried to find where it came from, but he couldn't find where it came from. That's how wide it was. That's how broad and wide it was. Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid and durst fight.
You don't fight a big thing like that. You don't know what it is. You don't know what that thing's gonna do to you. You know what I'm saying? First, you know, it's like the Jeepers Creepers. When you see the Jeepers Creeper monster, you aim the gun at the thing, you don't want to shoot it because you can't believe what was in front of you. You're too afraid to pull the trigger because you're trying to figure out what the hell this creature is that's in front of you. Your whole life long, you've never seen a monster like this in your life. So you're trying to come to yourself, what the hell is this? Exactly. So when we see this chariot, you're too much in the mind frame of what the fuck is this thing? You ain't gonna try and fight it straight away. You're gonna be caught up in the mindset of what the fuck?
You're not sure.
What should I do? What's it gonna do? What's it gonna do to me?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you're gonna be thinking. Go ahead.
And lo, as I saw the violence of the multitude that came,
Right.
he neither lifted up hand, nor held sword,
Right.
nor any instrument of war.
Right.
But only I saw that he sent out his mouth as he had been a blast of fire,
Right.
and out of his lips a flaming breath,
Right.
and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Right.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest,
Right.
and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight,
Right.
and burned them up everyone.
Right, so Putin, what's this guy? Trump. What's this guy? The Kim Jong-un with a little self in Korea. And a little Japanese man. Yeah, with a chopstick in there. Yeah? They all gonna come together. And with their military, they come together and stop the fighting among themselves and say, you know, we gotta fight this thing. We gotta fight this big thing. We don't know what this thing's gonna do to us. And then they try to go up with their jets and their fighter jets and everything, try to fight, try to run up to the chariot. And you know what the chariot did? Just opened up, something opened up in the chariot and then fire, boom.
You know, too, brother, that's why they make Hollywood films about it. Because the thing with the Hollywood film producers, one thing you gotta do, and I always make mention of this, right? Like what you gotta do is you gotta know the Bible. That's how they come up with their ideas. Like, for example, you watch what is it, man?
ID4.
What's that?
ID4, Independence Day.
Right, Independence Day, and all of these sci-fi movies that involves the the Chariots of the Lord. Because they know that one way or another, that day is gonna come. You understand? So when you dealing with these regular folks out here, these everyday John and Jane Edomites out here, they really don't know what's happening. They're just out in the bar drinking booze all fucking day. They don't understand that this is actually the end. And this is why that's why their asses are over there in Syria. Okay, because they're running out of time, man. You feel what I'm saying? They're running out of time. And what other day am I talking about? I'm talking about the international bankers. They're running out of time, so that's why they're getting everything sorted out before they make that move. You understand? Because at the end of the day, man, they know that the Lord is gonna come. Why they got these people all bugged out their mind thinking that, oh, there's no God. How could there ever be a God? And I mean, you know, when you think about that, that's just foolish in itself. Because when you actually check out the human DNA alone, that takes a high level of intelligence to create something like that.
Right.
It didn't just go kaput. Somebody give me Psalms 14:1. Look up the shot. You got something, yeah? Alright. Yeah, Psalms 14:1. You understand? So, I mean, you know, you just got a bunch of foods out here. And that's why people are killing themselves by eating rubbish food.
Right.
Eating food that toxifies them. You understand? Because they don't have no knowledge and understanding. This society doesn't promote wisdom and understanding. This society promotes your own downfall, which is foolishness. Go on.
This is the book of Psalms 14, verse 1. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
Right, the fool has said in his heart that there's no God. And hey, go on.
They are corrupt. They have done abominable works.
Right, they are corrupt and they have done abominable works. So, I mean, the only people that you can link this with, because see, we've been around the place, man. We've been around Edomites. We went to school with so-called white people. We went to school with these folks. Okay, when I was a young boy, I did an experiment. I didn't even realize I was doing an experiment. I asked all my teachers, did they believe in God? They said no. All of them said no. You understand? So that's showing you, and they're not supposed to believe in the Most High because the Most High made them to be the wicked. Okay? And that's why, man, like, especially, I'm gonna just keep it real, man. Like, I'm just kind of like fed up with this place, man. All right? Because I know the end result of this place. It's just not gonna be nothing but death and destruction out here. You understand? And the more we stay here, man, the more down in the spirit we're gonna be, because we see a better world, man. Okay, we got the inside scoop. We know how to run the planet the right way.
Right.
He was in power, man. But you got these gremlins in power, setting the orders and confusing everybody, man. Go on.
They say they are corrupt. They have done abominable works.
Right, they are corrupt and they have done abominable works. So what is the abominable works? Convincing mankind on the earth to change up their gender. You got guys like Bruce Genderbender, I call him, right? Promoting them on the television. Oh, it's okay to do that. But back in the 40s, you was a clown. If you thought about doing some madness like that, you was a fucking clown, man. Yeah. You understand? So they've already got the minds of the people warped into destroying themselves. That's all it is. That's all the society is all about.